What? What just happened again? I've seen this movie before. Welcome back to The Grey Cricketer, brought to you by ACO, India's leading digital insurance company. My name is Ian Higgins. Sam Perry is he. Pezzy lad, good morning. What are we watching? What are we watching here?
Don't know, man. When Jurassic Park 2 came out, I bought tickets to that as well.
Yep.
But this one, this was bigger. This was bigger than Jurassic Park 2. What? Is that it? He goes, listen, let's do it right.
Yeah.
We said it before. Pax Britannica, the Indian century. India are going to foreign lands and they're snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. Is this Gabba 2.0? And if the answer's no, this definitely had Gabba 2.0 vibes about it. It's Asian century juggernaut stuff. We warned England about this. We tried to tell you, England.
Try to tell you.
We tried to tell you.
Give you a warning. Lads, boys, they're coming.
And it happened
again.
again.
Oh, they're coming.
They're coming. I've tweeted earlier. It's game over as far as I'm concerned.
See you later.
What it also means is that New Zealand's a good team.
Yeah.
New Zealand's a good team.
Oh, they've still got that big giant lollipop.
But forget them. They're not big three.
Okay, so the start of the day, England were leading by 154.
Yes.
I said yesterday, unlosable position. What was I thinking? I put $10,000 on that. I didn't. India, mate, 298 for 8 declared. They declared. They thought we've got too many runs. We can't lose from here. WinViz saying 1% chance. 1% chance for England to win. India declared. Too many runs. England not out for 120 or whatever the fuck. India win by 151 runs. I mean, I've seen some things in my time, Sam Perry.
I know that's true.
A lot of it is, going through therapy at the moment, but I didn't see that coming. But can you put it to me in grade terms?
Chat shit, get hit. And let me expand upon that. We're going to do the three things, he goes.
Yeah, we'll do it in a second. We'll do it in a second. Now, I'll just take a moment here to say, obviously, we're doing these daily videos, and we have done for the last little while, the last few months, and all through this series as well. If you're enjoying it, shoot us a like, shoot us a subscribe if you're coming back and you haven't subscribed just yet. Maybe give it a share around the internet. Show your friends what's going on, because this isn't the last time this Indian team's going to do some fucking weird shit. They're going to do it for years. This is the Asian century. Or is it the Indian century? I don't know. Bangladesh are doing well.
We don't need to explain why it's the Asian century, but look up Kevin Rudd's white paper in 2010.
Okay. First thing, Shami and Bumrah, get it up. Get it up in the sense of libido and also the run chase.
Yes. And can I start with just a period before that when punt was in? Because we thought it would come down to punt. It didn't really, but he did provide us with one charge cover drive shot that was sex.
A big old fuck you.
It was sex.
Yeah.
The power behind it was unbelievable.
I didn't enjoy it how the cameraman didn't pick up the flight of the ball. He wanted to look at he was checking for rain at that point. He checked, look at the clouds. Is there any rain knocking about?
That's right. And you could hear, we were getting the Sky Sports coverage. I don't know if our Indian audience is getting the same, but you could actually hear through the audio some toff in the background, like in a different part of the ground or like near the commentary box. Yeah. Would have just been some corporate guy or whatever say, with the accent like, oh, they're not going to hang around too long. You could, I literally heard somebody say that.
That was coming from Abbey Road.
And then we saw what we see all the time, he goes. We see this from captains and teams. They do that weird in-out thing, defending runs. How many times do you see it fail? Michael Holding was literally about to rip the commentary door open, go down to Joe Root and tell him himself, just find the outside edge.
He was in conniptions.
Just nick these blokes off. You're protecting against them getting quick runs, but you're also letting them get in.
Yeah.
And I watched Jasprit Bumrah and Mo Shami look comfortable and set. They didn't look like number 11s to me. They're not number 11s anymore, these blokes. They've improved. It's another part of the 18th century. Mate, they did. They literally play good cricket. It's easy. It's nice to say that they're number 11s.
Give me something. Let me hold on to something. No, I can't have Shami scoring 50s and him taking his lid off, saluting the balcony.
Well, you're going to have it, mate.
I'm not having it.
It's here. You're not ready. You're in denial.
I am in denial.
The River Nile. So... There was issues a few days ago in the test with Jimmy Anderson, Jasprit Bumrah. That's when this shit kicked off.
Yeah.
Every time you chat shit to Indians now, they win. They distract you.
Mate.
and this morning,
Yeah.
Mark Wood came out and said, because of his shoulder injury, that he mightn't be right to bowl.
Yeah.
Joe Root brings him on anyway.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what there was, he goes. There was bloodlust.
Huh.
It was straight up bloodlust. And there's a lot of people out now saying Root made a mistake. Root shouldn't have been bumping him. And they're probably right. Except that we all had the bloodlust at the time. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
Little subplot going on.
Yeah.
We're going to get Jasper at Bumrah back. Not to, no worry about the fact that this game's on fine margins. 10 runs here, 20 runs here. Could decide it.
Yeah.
I wanted fucking lids.
Yeah. We'll get into the verbal aggression during the game in a moment's time. But, mate, you're completely right. You know it's bad when Anderson is trying to bump blokes. He's got two guys out in the hook and a deep point. What the fuck are you playing at England? Joe Root has come out after the game, which is a separate thing, but he's also said, I think a lot falls on my shoulders as captain. Tactically, I could have done things slightly differently given the time again. I've got to say, fucking Jimmy Anderson's got to take a huge punishment here. He's played more test matches than anyone on that team. I understand the rest of the bowlers. Sam Curran's the other most capped bowler with 22 caps. He's a young guy. He's only 23. Robinson, Moeen Ali's just back in the team. There's the young bowling group. But Anderson, when Anderson's coming on and he's gone, I'm actually a swing specialist, but I'm actually trying to bump these blokes. When's Anderson ever bumped anyone? It was fucking ridiculous. And they lost the game, not only in the sense that the runs got away from the complete shift in momentum from the game. Mate, what about when, was it Wood bowling or Robinson? Bumrah had just come out and they're fucking getting into him straight away. Butler's chirping. And we saw Butler chirp.
Butler's got to put that away.
Butler chirped in South Africa. Who was it? What's the bowler's name? That's going to annoy me.
Yeah.
He tried to sledge one of the bowlers.
Kleinfeld?
No, it wasn't Kleinfeld. It was fucking, I can picture his face and that's going to really annoy me. Anyway, and the ball got thrown back into him.
Yeah.
And then Butler told him to get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Remember, they're like throwing through the stump marks and it doesn't suit Josh Butler.
No, it's not his game.
Not his game. Then Coley got into him later. Anyway, so they're into Bumrah and Bumrah like plays this weird like head down slap.
I got this here. No, he's trying to pull it. He's trying to pull the ball. It's too quick on him. He basically plays a no-look cut shot.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best shots of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Head down.
Yeah.
Everyone's up.
Yeah.
Kinetic energy.
Oh.
Everything changed.
Mate, it just slapped it through point, and then like poor old Zach Crawley's on the field for some reason, has to walk after it, and then they showed a Coley who's about to fucking storm the Capitol on the balcony, going fucking yes.
Mate,
holy shit!
Coley was showing chest, like he was up there. It was like he just wanted to fight from the balcony.
Yeah,
and like that's what happens, right? Like if England take 2 quick wickets or whatever, or say Bumrah scores a few runs, Shami scores a few runs, but India's only 180 ahead or whatever. There isn't the and we've all experienced this in cricket. There isn't that shift in momentum or that kinetic energy that you get from the last 2 bats scoring runs. You know, like where just everything changes. Like these guys after their runs, right? Maybe do you want to talk more about their runs or anything else they did? I mean,
whatever.
It got to the point where it just. Root fucked it up. It was an in-out field.
Yeah.
They got set, and then Shami started bombing them everywhere.
And they went to lunch, and they thought, no, we'll keep batting.
And this was the best thing. So everyone's like, got to declare. Even Warney, got to declare.
Yeah.
Coley nailed. Like, so what Coley did, right? By definition, with the result, it was the right decision. Okay, so people got to stop saying, "Oh, well, he declared too late." Well, look at the result. He got it right. You need to reflect on why that was right. Now, one reason,
fucking 8 overs in the bank.
One reason it was right was because he's taken them off. England's expecting to go out in a bat, and it's been done many times at grade level before. Chuck the whites back on. Just put them back on. Jimmy, put them back on. Bowl 3 balls. No, we're off.
Oh, mate.
Perfect.
Mate, what about the sorcery?
wind up.
Mate, what about the sorcery of this? They go out to bat, and then Shami just like takes his slide pad off for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's no 12th man running in the field.
Exactly.
They just stop the game. Meanwhile, they flash to Virat Kohli in the dressing room. He's in full whites. He's spraying himself with cologne.
Mate, this is when this is sorcery. Like this was when the sorcery was beginning.
Yeah.
You know that Ravi Sastry was on a horse in the back corner.
He was.
There, just fucking pulling strings.
Yeah.
So one of the great things was that I've seen is the BCCI, like a social media producer, created a little clip. I don't know if you saw it of Bumrah and Shami exiting the field. Was it at lunch or was it when they declared? And the whole Indian team come down into the long room.
Holy shit.
And none of the English toffs are allowed there, presumably for COVID. So this is not your backyard stuff anymore.
Holy
this is fucking
shit.
backyard, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And they're all there. Kohli's there in the middle, and they're just fucking like big acoustic sounds around the long room, and it's like they have stormed the Capitol. They've got the long room now.
Yeah.
And I just think about Shami and Bumrah. Like that's an 89-run stand. Like
Absolute
that is one of the
piss take.
most famous partnerships of all time now in Indian cricket history and beyond, especially where it is and everything. Not that they give a fuck about Lord's IPL and all that sort of shit.
Whatever.
But
Eden Gardens.
can you imagine these two? No idea if they even have beers, these bloke. But let's say they're having a beer in 20 years' time.
Yeah.
In 20 years' time, that's going to be like Wood was bowling 105 mile an hour.
Yeah.
We've put on about about 150 there.
Yeah.
I fucking hit him into West London. You know, Moeen Ali tried to punch me. Moeen Ali's never hit anybody. But, like, that's what the stories are going to grow so tall.
Oh, mate. And, like, we'd be like, oh, tough, we're going to back up. Well, we were rolling for 120
Exactly.
in the fourth dig. So, yeah, pretty tough to bat him there. I think Shami's got more runs now than Kohli in this series. I think that's actually true.
Yeah, well, I think in the same way that the reason why this is Gabba 2.0 vibes is because of the nature of the win.
They won from nowhere.
It's winning from nowhere. It's doing it on a particular ground that kind of breaks a cultural spirit of the opposition.
Yeah.
That there's sort of it's like a stronghold.
Yeah.
And I expect the floodgates to open now when you talk about Kohli and all that kind of stuff. Something broke there for England as well.
We've sort of got into it, but like the second thing I wanted to say was much chat out there. So Kohli, when they were in the huddle at the beginning of the fourth innings, he's overheard saying they should feel like they're in hell for 60 overs. Fuck aggressive. KL Rahul after the game, nicest guy in the world, saying if you come after one of our guys, all 11 are going to come back at you. I mean, who's going at Bumrah? Isn't he just the happiest, smiliest guy ever?
Well, he's shown a different side to him, and of course
he's got a level. Of course, he's got a level.
He's
Pro
fucking
sportsman.
Bumrah.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Yeah, it made exactly like. I mean, it sort of goes into the third one you've got here as well. With like, are we going to talk about India's bowling innings?
Let's just go on the third one. India blow. India blow England away.
India only needed 52 overs at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It started with Bumrah to Burns, right? I mean, it could have started before that. Arguably, it started with the East India Company or 15 August 1947.
Yeah.
But the Asian century was fired up. You could just like the energy that they had harnessed from that innings was brought onto the field.
Yes.
I know there's a Pakistani saying, and I sort of reluctant to raise it here, that's like let the tamasha run. Like when things are going well for them, they harness the chaos and use it. And I just feel like India did that in a much more clinical way as well. They just they took all the energy, and when you look at the camera angle of like Bumrah coming into Burns, first couple of balls play, miss, and like there's 5 slips fucking converging in on Rory Burns like a fucking umbrella.
I had the same note. First ball just pops a little bit, hits a splice, and then there's like 7 guys behind the bat marching in unison, like it's synchronized swimming at Rory Burns.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh my God.
It's a scene from West Side Story. I'm going to start clicking.
Every England batter, absolutely all at sea, except for Joe Root and maybe Butler at times.
Yeah. I got a text from somebody who, let's just say he's played at Lords, he scored runs there, he would know.
Right. He's a match
who
fixer.
said, why do you keep saying that? He said, just realised Burns took face with the slope going away from him, so Sibley was at the end where it was doing the same. Fuck me, they failed the first intelligence test. So this is somebody who knows a little bit about the game, essentially just looking at England opening their batting going, these guys are wallabies in the headlights here. You know, just straight away. So England were under the cosh, and it was just an absolute procession from there.
Mate, Bumrah getting Robertson from around the wicket, that's some more Aksa Patel sorcery potion shit. He's bowling round the wicket, right-hander to right-hander, LBW, and absolutely plumb, amazing. Siraj comes on, he gets Moeen Ali, he gets Curran. Curran is the first player ever to get a king pair at Lords, good stat. I think this is also the first time ever in England that both openers have been out for a duck. Just more fucking record-breaking shit. And then so he gets Ali, gets Curran, and then he gets Butler, and then he gets Anderson, and he's like just completes his celebration, Siraj, running down the wicket, and he just picks up the stump, and he is off on a circuit somewhere on the East End.
I had to replay that because he picks up the stump like Mark Oyster pick up the ball one-handed running in at full pace.
Yeah, impressive.
Mate, just to add to that procession you were talking about, Kohli even got a review right. You know, getting that's how much energy, how much kinetic energy had been harnessed.
Yeah.
The umpires were trying to keep England in the game as well. Goffey making bad decisions.
Yeah.
India overturning it.
Yeah.
It's They still needed 6 wickets in the final session though, India. Like there was plenty of work to do. 2 wickets in the last 10 overs, but got the job done. I
mean, this really does feel though much more like India have won a game from nowhere, which is what good teams do. This is like I can't really think of an exact example like the Australian team did in the sort of early 2000s or late 90s even, but England have fucked this up so badly. Like how they have lost this game is absolutely catastrophic for them. As soon as India got to like 270 in front or whatever the fuck it was, and there was like comparisons being made, well, they didn't even try and chase that in a dead rubber game against New Zealand where they had more overs. So it was like, okay, so now they're batting for survival. Yeah. Couldn't bat 60 overs for survival. Unbelievable.
I rated Kohli's decision, mate, because he would have known how many people were like, no, you need to give yourself more time. England might be able to bat their way through, but I feel like in the context of the series now, and it's easy to say this in retrospect, he, this is Kohli to a T. He batted England out of the game.
Yeah.
That changes again the energy of the contest. Now it's England hanging on. It's India able to swarm on them. Let's give them hell for 60 overs.
Yeah.
And now that he's got the win, it's such a dominant way of winning. He got rid of England's chances in the game.
See you later.
And then with that kind of dominance that they felt, they came steaming in to smash them. And now England are nowhere, mate. Like I was going to say, if England are to do anything in a game, they need Joe Root to score 180. And I think, wait, he can score 180 and they can still lose by 150 runs.
Unbelievable.
Like, I mean, for England.
In England.
In England. Where to now? Like, everywhere you look with India, any part of the game, skill, and now in terms of aggression, green wickets, flat wickets, Indian wickets. Without Joe Root, England aren't even here. England are fourth grade.
Mate, we'll get into this at a later time in a different video, I reckon. But now that Haseeb Hameed struggled in this game, tough conditions to come into, you got to say. What's his name? Sibley, thank you. Sibley, they've dropped Zach Crawley. Now Sibley's like, he surely has to go now. I mean, there's no point keeping him in this side, surely. But who comes in for him now? Who bats where? It's fucked. I mean, they're absolutely cooked. Anyway, hashtag AskTGC brought to you by Acco. Nareej Agarwal says, hashtag AskTGC, boys! Recently read an article that said Dubai is using drones for cloud seeding to make it rain. Could MI6 be using similar tech to get England out of tricky situations, or am I just a grumpy Indian fan? Cheers. I bet he's not grumpy this morning.
I doubt this bloke is grumpy now, but I guess the answer, Neeraj, if it's true, that this is what's happening, is that India will then have to wage a technology war on England and start dominating that field of the game, which I presume they'll be able to do.
Yep.
But do they need to at the moment? I don't think they need to manipulate any conditions, India. They can win in all conditions now. Like that's the mark. That's why the Gabba was so important.
Yeah.
It was the nature of the victory. It was the conditions of the victory, and now it's Lords as well. I mean, Lords is a cultural stronghold. It's just a flat track, really.
Yeah.
A flat, slow wicket, but it's still Lords.
Yes.
And now India, they've just absolutely rolled over England this last day. Good teams do that when they know that they're better. And it was engineered by good captaincy from Kohli. I rated that he, after the game, like a big celebration, but then when he started shaking hands as well, like he hadn't completely lost his rag. And obviously would have been smelling good while he
smelled a fucking treat, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
Straight on the circuit, which is actually allowed now in England, I would imagine. As long as he's got his vaccine passport ready. All right, and it's going to be exciting when England pick Elon Musk for the third test. That's going to be really all that England have now. All right, we'll be back later. Today, in fact, for the main podcast, but also we're back for the third test, which starts... there's a gap between these two tests.
And if you have enjoyed it, we don't ask often, but subscribe, give it a like, get around it, and we'll get around you.
See you later.